gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Houston Texans. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
At their own 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Bulldozes past him. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And off comes to Martin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
2nd and 10. They give to Martin. And some room to work. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now Martin. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Working with a 2nd and 4. From the pistol, they'll run with Martin. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm is going forward. Incomplete pass. And this one is right down Broadway. And it's now 3-0 Texans. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy is nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Off the play fake, Prescott taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Mecole Hardman, 36 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Zerline connects on the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. touchdown at Zerline. He'll kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to set up. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Micah Parsons just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17. They run the counter with Martin. Tough running there before being wrangled down shy of the 15. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play. This one to Jarwin over the middle.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Dak going to hand it to Elliott on the option. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Throwing, Prescott. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
On 1st down, Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Zerline good with a PAT. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Watson off play action. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 78 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play? But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And maybe some indecision there on what looked to be an RPO. He wound up keeping it, but that defense right on him to strip it away.
And typically when we see that type of indecision on an RPO, that means it's well defended. He had nowhere to go with it, and that allowed the defense to get to him and knock it free and make it a turnover.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, Prescott. He'll let this go for the end zone. And, that one's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Prescott from the gun. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And Watson has enough for the first down yardage as he slides to the turf. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Back to throw, Watson. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Big hole up the middle, and they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run for it with Martin, and this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. Here's Watson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to third and goal. Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on. And
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. Dances by him, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Play action now, Prescott. Catch is made by Hardman. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. 4th down, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Blake Jarwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Faking the give. Now Watson. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
They run. Martin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 99 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First down, Houston.
Here's Martin. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Malik Hooker.
And the Cowboys are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting him to shreds.
And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43.
For McCole Hardman, I mean, he was the only guy with 2 of the top 10 fastest runs in all of 2019, and he's showing that that was no fluke. He was moving there.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Dallas, Texas is the spot. 3rd quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
Down to about the 22 here. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Martin. And now loose football. Fumble. Martin lost it. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Prescott off play action. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Cameron Sutton, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott completes it to Hardman. The 40. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
32-yard line.
3 yards remain for second down.
Again, it's Martin. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on second and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Carry number 20 here for Martin. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Martin running right. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down, Elliott once more. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
107 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Cowboys, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.